when we import, there is something called as a GST refund or set off. When we export, there are some government incentives or subsidies. So can you just walk us through what those are in terms of engineering goods?
Yeah. Actually, if you take an example of import, when you are getting the cargo into India, customs is involved for revenue collection. So they will charge you appropriate customs duty on the value of your goods. That value amounts to your cost, insurance, freight,
Correct.
plus 1% as a inland transportation cost, you can say. So they will charge you basic customs duty as well as cess on that customs duty and even GST portion also.
Okay.
Now you will ask me why they are charging GST portion also. See, even though those goods are of foreign origin or you are getting that goods from other countries, it is said and done that those are manufactured in India. Why? Because government of India doesn't want to lose GST portion on those imported goods.
Okay.
So they will charge you GST also while getting the goods cleared from the customs.
But on what? So when we supply our systems, we charge GST on the basic cost. So in terms of imports, how is that GST portion calculated? On which cost is it calculated?
Very good question again. That is charged on the basis of your CIF value plus, as I said, 1%. So
Okay.
it becomes your assessable value,
Okay.
whereon duty is always chargeable. Plus your customs duty portion also. Say basic customs duty plus cess. So let us take an example. Your assessable value is say 100 rupees, INR 100, and your custom duty portion is 111 rupees. So GST would be chargeable on that 111 rupees.
Oh,
That itself means that if you would have rather procured that material from, rather you can say, within the India, you would have paid that much amount,
okay.
or that is your purchase cost, including customs duty. So GST would be chargeable on that,
On that.
portion. But there is one more provision going further. Once you received those goods into your works or into your factory or into your warehouse also, then you are entitled for the GST portion on that 111 rupees.
Okay.
That is called GST set off.
Okay.
Now you will ask me why they are again, government is by one hand they are rather charging GST and on other hand they are giving set off or refund on that portion. So best example is, suppose if you are rather procured any goods within India, say from your another, you can say, vendor. So vendor is going to charge you GST on your cost. So once it is received into your factory, then you are always entitled for the GST set off or refund, since that is an input for your end use product
Correct.
or whatever further you are going to manufacture. So like that you can get set off of import
Duty.
transaction also.
Okay. So like there are this GST refund. Are there any incentives for exporting goods to other countries provided by Government of India?
Yeah. Again, I just want to rather go back for import also, because there are certain other import incentives also.
Okay.
see, suppose if you are rather getting certain goods or you are rather importing certain goods for specifically of manufacturing the goods for export purpose only,
Specifically for export.
then you can get those goods without payment of duty
Okay.
with reference to a authorization being issued by the Joint Director General of Foreign Trade.
So we have to notify, let's say, customs first that we are importing this for further exporting purpose.
Yeah,
We have to notify that before we import.
yeah. Even there are certain areas also wherein Government of India has given permission to get those goods into that particular area, which is called bonded warehouse, and it is again rather form as a 100% export oriented unit, EOU.
Yeah.
Then for that EOU unit, you can get imported goods without payment of duty, manufacture those goods within those premises or within that bonded warehouse area and re-export those goods. That can be done. So that is called sort of import incentive for you. Now going further for export also, say in certain cases or you can say on certain types of goods, there is a duty drawback which is governed again by the Ministry of Finance through Ministry of Commerce,
Okay.
wherein suppose if you are rather going to export a particular part and which is rather already declared into the duty drawback table that it attracts 1% export incentive on the basis of FOB value of export. For drawback, it is always on FOB value of the export, or
Okay.
even for any other things, shipping will recognize only FOB value.
Okay.
So, suppose if you are rather exporting 1,000 rupees of goods, so 1% duty drawback, you will get it subsequently once the goods are exported.
Okay.
But for that purpose, while exporting the goods, you will have to declare that I am going to avail this particular duty drawback benefit
Okay. So that
Then
you have to do before you.
before
you
export the goods or before you process the goods
Okay.
for customs clearance.
Now, many a times, our customers, so we supply our filtration systems to these companies, and those companies are EOUs, export oriented units. So we as Indian manufacturers, we are not, let's say for this particular case, we are not importing anything, but we are supplying to a EOU unit. So is it like we are exporting it but only within India? Can we consider it like that?
Yeah, again, it's a, you can say, very good question. There is a difference. There are two different types of exports.
Okay.
One is direct exports, another means indirect export. What is direct export? If you are sending the goods beyond territory of India, Indian sort of things, then it is called direct export.
Yeah.
Suppose you are sending the goods to Sri Lanka, it's a direct export. Nepal, direct export. But if you are rather supplying those goods to EOU, then it is again called, fall under, you can say, indirect export. And for that purpose, you will get all the benefits of exports
Okay.
with reference to supply of goods to EOU.
The same is the case with SEZ,
Yeah,
special economic zones.
yeah, definitely.
So these special economic zones are also like
Yeah,
EOUs.
yeah, those are EOUs. Like,
Okay.